Alright, let's get started here with 2.2b, objective 7 through 10, finishing up talking about lines. And so objective 7, first one, let's identify the slope and the y-intercept of a line from its equation. So we do have the equation for slope-intercept, which is just y equals mx plus b. So if we have the equation like that, m is your slope and b is your y-intercept, m your slope. So if we can get the equation to look like this, we're in business. We can just pull the numbers right out. So we're probably going to be given equations that don't look like that, and we need to do a little work. So our goal here, let's get y by itself. Negative 2y equals negative 3x plus 6. And let's divide everything by negative 2. And so y equals 3x minus 3, and this was over 2, so 3 halves x, change your signs, minus 3. Your slope is 3 halves, and your intercept is negative 3. To graph this, your intercept is negative 3, so let's go down 3 tick marks, 1, 2, 3, make yourselves a dot. And your slope is rise 3, 1, 2, 3, and run 2. Move over 2, and so we would be right there, actually on the x-axis, and connect your dots, and draw a prettier and straighter line than I just did, but you get the idea, and you've got yourself a graph, and you know your slope and your y-intercept. Alright, try 71 and 77. Next objective, let's graph lines written in general form. So, just as a refresher, and maybe you missed this in Algebra 1, general form is ax plus by equals c. So the x and the y on one side, and all your constants collected and moved to the right side. Or the other way around, it can be c equals ax plus by. But constants on one side, x's and y's on the other. Okay? Alright, oh, and there it is right there, general form. So, if we're given a general form, let's graph this by finding its intercepts. Now, we've talked about intercepts before. To find the x-intercept, you make y equal to 0. So we're going to say 3x equals 6, x equals 2. If we make x 0, to find our y-intercepts, we're going to have 2y equals 6, so y equals 3. Now these aren't actually points, they're the intercepts, the x and y intercepts. If we graph them, the x-intercept is 2. We'll move over 2 on the x-axis. The y-intercept is 3. 1, 2, 3. So 0, 3. And now we have enough to connect our two dots, make yourself a line, and there we go. Try problem 91. Alright, now let's talk about parallel lines. Find equations of parallel lines. So here's the thing with parallel lines is that their rise and run will be the same, which means that parallel lines have the same slope. Okay? Parallel lines are parallel if and only if their slopes are equal. So, show that the lines given by the following equations are parallel. That means we need to find the slope. So, negative 5y equals negative 3x plus 2. Divide by negative 5, y equals 3/5 x minus 2/5. Next line, 10y equals 6x plus 1. Divide by 10, y equals 6/10 x plus 1/10. 6/10 is the slope here. 3/5 is the slope here. 3/5 is the exact same thing as 6/10. 6/10 would reduce. So we have the exact same slope, so they are parallel. So now let's use what we know about parallel lines to find an equation for the line that contains 4, negative 1 and is parallel to this line here. So it's not on this line, it's parallel to that. So what happens there is that this equation will be helpful in finding the slope. 5y equals 3x plus 1. Y equals 3/5 x plus, don't really even care about what's over here, but plus 1/5, because what we care about is the slope. So now we know that we have a line that has a point 4, negative 1, and has a slope of 3/5. Okay, let's go ahead and find an equation for that. We can do point slope, y plus 1 equals 3/5 x minus 4. We've got ourselves a nice equation in point slope format. By hand, let's graph the two lines. This first line is going to have an intercept of 1/5. And since we're... Now let me just approximate it. Sorry, I was thinking doing something else. We're going to go up 3/5 and over 1, which will take us to 4/5, comma 1. Which will be about right there. And so we'll connect our dots. And this one over here will have the point -1, comma 4. 3, 4. And it'll also go up 3 and over 5, so we could do that this way. 1, 2, 3 over 5. 3, 4, 5. Sorry, getting a little messy here with the stylus, but that would be up there. And those are parallel. You might have to take my word for it because my lines aren't perfectly straight, but those lines are parallel to each other because they have the same slope. All right, try problem 59. All right, last objective. We've done parallel. Let's do perpendicular lines. And perpendicular lines have opposite reciprocal slopes. Okay? Only if the product of their slopes is -1. If the slope of one line is 1/5, the second slope is going to be -5/1. If one slope is -3/5, the other slope is +5/3. Opposite reciprocals for slope. Okay, so you can see that there graphically. Let's find the slope of a line perpendicular to a line with a slope 3/4. What we were just talking about, -4/3. Flip it over, throw a negative sign on there. So now let's go extend that a little bit. Find an equation of the line that contains -4/6 and is perpendicular to this line here. So we need to find the slope here. So I'm going to go the other way. 2x minus 4 equals y. So there's our slope. So for this, the line that has that point, we have -4 comma 6 and a slope of -1/2. Y minus 6 equals -1/2. X plus 4 would be your point slope equation for that line. And then if we graphed it, 2x minus 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, up 2 over 1. There's that line. And then this one at -4 comma 6, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Starts there and has a slope of down 1 over 2. I'm going to run like that. And right there, that's a nice 90-degree angle. So graphically, we can see they're going to be perpendicular as well. So 65 for you. Wrap that up. We're done here. Any questions? Make sure you're asking them in class.